Hong Kong racing heads to Sha Tin on Sunday. It's an 11-race programme. We start off with the Griffins, 2 races on the all-weather. We're up to race number 8 here, which is a Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. And we have 9 horses heading to post, headed by California 10 for Tony Cruz and Zach Purton, runner-up to the Rock last time out. Dead heated in actual fact with Running Glory, who has since won. He won on his next start over the 2,000 metres. He drops in trip. All for St Paul's. Barrier 1, who should roll forward, comes up in class, as does Galaxy Witness. He's unbeaten in 4 starts so far. Bourbonnaire just behind Running Glory last time out over the 2,000, dropping in trip as well. And Charity Grace was a winner 2 starts back, was over course and distance, but was in a lower grade. Mark, all for St Paul's, we assume he'll be in front.
It looks that way, Andrew. Good at slow pace because he might not get much competition for the lead here. Poor California 10, Celestial Power sitting just off him. Looking at the speed map, it appears as though everybody's going to get their chance in running. The favourite, likely favourite, Galaxy Witness 3 back the inside, and you expect Running Glory just to follow him everywhere.
Yeah, I think that'll be the case there. And Circa 3 we know generally gets back, Charity Grace likewise. So, look, I don't think there'll be too much difference there. Looking great, has led over a lot longer trips. I think he'll probably take a sit there.
OK, all right. We're going to have a look at a couple of the key races in a moment. We'll start off, though, with our likely favourite here in Galaxy Witness. Unbeaten in 4 starts so far. Nick's been out at track work to catch up with his jockey.
Joe, Galaxy Witness has certainly been making headlines. He lines up for his 5th run this weekend. He's unbeaten in 4. How's the excitement levels?
It's always high, isn't it? When you have a horse that goes out there and win all the time that you ask him to go to, you couldn't be more excited than what you should be.
And what he's done so far, Joe, obviously he's done little wrong. Last time out on the ground, was he totally in love with it, do you think, from a rider's perspective?
I just think he didn't mind about the wet track. I mean, he just floated on top of it. He covered ground a little bit. I pointed him out, and he coped covering ground and hit the line very strongly. So we're coming up in class, but don't forget, we're also dropping the weight off his back, which is going to help him. From the day when I got on this horse, I told Casper that I thought this horse was going to be a mile or even longer kind of a horse, you know, a longer kind of a distance horse. Apparently, Casper believes we step him up in distance, and I'm looking forward to sit on him on the weekend. He's definitely a promising horse as well.
He certainly is. He had a Abbey Valley for a recent trial. He looked to come through that very nicely as well. Was that just a case of going
his
through
trials over there was outstanding. Yeah. I mean, he's done very well as we expected. He seems very much the same horse that we've had in the past, with a little bit of more experience after having 4 starts. So he's a horse that I'm looking forward to ride on the weekend.
If he was to win his 5th and on the bounce, it'd be a great way to finish the season. I think Casper's gone on record of saying this will be his last run of the season, and then onto the 4-year-old series next year. So quite a bit to look forward to.
What he's done so far, it's quite impressive. He would be one of the horses that we all should have in mind for the Classics next season, and he deserves the credit.
Yeah, he's an impressive looking horse, an impressive record as well. Unbeaten in 4 starts. It's interesting as well. He's gone, Joe talking about distance, he's gone 1,012, 2 wins at 14, Mark, and now up to the mile.
And he won his first 300 doing things wrong because his starts weren't faultless. Debut Paul over the 1,000. He missed the start quite badly and recovered to beat El Jefe, who always gets back and runs on over the 1,000. He wasn't brilliant away at the next 2 starts after that. He was his best start last time, and he's still been good enough to win.
Yeah, and look, and as Joe says, he thinks the distance is going to suit him, and he's won on a good to yielding track as well. So everything they've thrown at him, he's passed every test. OK, well, his test includes on Sunday Running Glory in California 10, Paul, who dead heated here behind the Rock, and Charity Grace is just behind him. Yeah, and look, it was a good run here, I thought, from Running Glory as well. He's come out since this run and won once again. The Rock sort of set up the pace in front and won really nicely. But I thought Running Glory's run here was full of merit. So I think he's the danger, actually, Running Glory.
Absolutely. We'll see it shortly. He's gone on to win after this start. He got very wide on the track to the outside rail as they did that day. It was a rain-affected track. He looked to handle it well, and back to 1,600 metres from his last start win.
Yeah, he's won over the mile already, Running Glory. What about Celestial Power, though, Mark? Because this is only his, 4th start for the season. He's first up since November, but he's won 2 of his 3 starts this campaign.
Found a spot for him too. He beat Zabrowski twice in October and November. Zabrowski was a dual Group 3 winner after those races. Matthew Poon on his place first up. He's had 2 trials up at Chung Fa behind Ka Ying Master and also Far Far. And while I don't know if he can beat Galaxy Witness and also Running Glory, certainly in a fresh state, Paul, he comes back, as Andrew said, having won his last two. He's in my top three.
Yeah, look, he just missed out for me. Look, the two wins were over 1,800. This is fresh up over 16. So I'll just see what he can do here. We haven't seen him for a while.
Well, this is him up at Chung Fa. This is his most recent trial. I think, Paul, he's finished fourth of the four runners. Wasn't asked to do a great deal, but at the same time, you know, I want to watch him as well. He didn't blow me away.
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, one thing in his favour, he has won over the 16, but he's had three wins over the 1,800. I just wonder if the 1,800 metres will be his go, and this will be a sort of stepping stone to something else.
Just a correction, got him in for fourth. I'm going to ignore the trial because it wasn't impressive, but it was Chung Fa.
All right. Back to Running Glory then, Mark. This is over 2,000 metres, and he really does let down here. Bourbonnaire, his stablemate, gets better each start.
He does. He's done nothing but improve since he's been in New Zealand, Bourbonnaire. But Running Glory, there's absolutely nothing of him, but nobody's told him he's only the size of a larger pony, if anything, but he's won 5 from 9, placed a couple of times. The step back in trip isn't going to be a problem, Paul. Galaxy Witness is going to be hard to beat, but if there is one, this little guy is the guy to do it.
Yeah, and he's got the big ticker, isn't he? He never gives up. He always tries hard. There's no question there. And I do like Bourbonnaire as well. I agree. He keeps getting better as well.
All right, Antoine Hamlin rode him there, rides him again. That's Running Glory. So here is Bourbonnaire, and all for St Paul's. Paul, a soft lead. He could, you know, give him something to chase.
I'll put him in on a minor line because we know he's a hard horse to get past. He wasn't really favoured on this race. He'd been up in Chung Fa, but he really fought hard. He'd been downgraded into this. He comes here into Class 3, back up to Class 2. This was Class 3. So he gets back up to Class 2. I suppose that's a question mark for him, but he fights.
He does. Left him out just because of his Class 2 record. He's only had 1/4 from 4 starts, so that was just my worry about him.
All right, so Galaxy Witness, so Paul, 4 starts for 4 wins. He's odds on.
Yeah, look, he is odds on. I've got to put him on top, though. He does everything right. He's done everything asked of him, and he's quite an exciting horse. He's still a 3-year-old too, isn't he? So he's on top. Galaxy Witness, Running Glory, the toughest to beat, Bourbonnaire and All for St Paul's. We talked about those three. 6, 3, 8 and 5.
Same top 3 as Paul, just a different 4th selection. Galaxy Witness on top, overcome some poor starts to his first few outings and still being too good at the end. And Joe Moreira rides for Casper Founds, goes to 1,600 metres. Joe, in that interview, sounded like he had no doubt it's going to suit him perfectly. So race 8, number 6 goes on top. Love the attitude of Running Glory. Antoine Hamlin, he's on board. He does carry an extra £5 for that win over the 2,000 metres. So he's up to 127 now. He's only a little horse. He's won with 128 on his back. Bourbonnaire's just got better and better with each run and ran second behind Running Glory. He's coming back in trip 2 to the 1,600 metres. A Group 1 winner over that distance in New Zealand. And Celestial Power returns here. He has placed first up in the past. Not really taken by the trials up at Chung Fa, but he did go to the paddock with winning form. 6, 3, 8 and 2.
I got the same top 3, slightly different order. I'll stick with Running Glory against the favourite. I think you can give him a race here, certainly at that sort of price. All right, that's Class 2 over the 1,600 metres.